What's up guys, Andy here from 4K Downtime, here to bring you another 4K news update. So today's topic is actually a topic that I'm sure everybody's already familiar with at this point, is Nintendo announcing that there will be a Nintendo Direct tomorrow at 2 PM Pacific time. They said that the presentation will be around 30 minutes long. It's going to focus on 3DS as well as Nintendo Switch titles that is launching this year. And the other thing that they specifically mentioned is that there will be new details, based on Mario Tennis Ace. Now, as soon as a lot of people, when they read this, they instantly felt like, oh, okay, so you better set your expectations low. That's going to probably be heavily focused on Mario Tennis, or because, like, the fact that they specifically mentioned in Mario Tennis is almost kind of like, it made it sound like, yeah, lower your expectations, like there's probably going to be nothing big worth mentioning. And I felt like I could see where these people are coming from, like why it kind of just gives off that vibe, because it doesn't really make you get excited if Mario Tennis is the only game that you're singling out in that brief statement that you've put there. So I can somewhat agree to see where these people are coming from, but in the same time, yeah, I kind of felt like Mario Tennis, I do think Mario Tennis Tomorrow is probably going to have a much more bigger presence, than everything else, just purely because in the mini direct, when they showed off to it, it was literally only about I believe a minute of footage, and you didn't really get to see real anything. It was just a little snippet of gameplay that just gave us just a very brief understanding of what is it going to be about this time. We know there's going to be kind of a somewhat story mode, that kind of stuff, which is great. I actually kind of missed that feature from the older games, so to see it return, it's great. But I just felt like the detailing of it's probably just going to break down what mode it has, online play, something like that, and just when the game is launching. So I have a feeling it's probably going to get an official release date as well as more details. In terms of what we can potentially see, I mean, let's start with 3DS first. With 3DS, I legitimately think that this year might actually be the last year for the 3DS. I don't think 3DS will have any more presence next year. So regarding this year, what it has, as far as I know yet, the one that I could think on top of my head is just Detective Pikachu. That's probably going to be the last big game announced for the 3DS. So I don't think there's going to be any other thing major, and if there is other 3DS games, it's probably just going to be some really minor games that not that many people will care about. So hopefully they won't dwell on the 3DS too long, as far as I hope so as well. I think that the only major game that they're probably going to spend some time on is purely going to be just on Detective Pikachu and nothing else. Now, what else could the Direct be? Primarily the Switch stuff. Well, for starters, I have a feeling they will show Kirby, give Kirby one last final push just before its release, because it comes out on the 16th. We're literally less than 2 weeks away, so they probably just throw out one more trailer just to give it that extra push, and then that will be it. So hopefully Kirby's not going to have that big of a presence here either. It's probably just going to be one trailer, done, that's it. Now, they might talk a little bit about Hyrule Warriors. For me personally, I would never really want them to talk about any specific games that they've already mentioned in the mid-direct, because it's just repeating themselves if they actually do that. But Hyrule Warriors, again, considering that it's also closer to release date, I have a feeling that they might just throw one trailer out just to clear things up, again, just give it a little push, and then that's it. But in terms of what new stuff could we expect to see, right? Anything that we haven't seen in the mini direct. Ever since the mini direct, there have been developers that have come out and say that, oh, there will be more supports for the Switch and whatnot, with Ubisoft. I think we will see something from Ubisoft. Maybe we'll finally get the release date for the DLC the DLC season pass for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So we'll probably see a bit more about that. We have probably get to see what the actual story content is, because it has been said that this DLC, this season pass, will actually include story mode missions, brand new story mode missions. So they might just put a trailer together just to show what this season pass is actually about. And of course, I wouldn't really even be surprised if tomorrow the direct ends and literally tell you that, oh, the season pass is live, you can actually go download it now. So if that would be awesome, because they've done something like that before as well, so that would be great. As far as any particular title from Ubisoft, for me, I have a feeling that because it's been heavily rumored that South Park: The Fractured Butthole would actually appear on Nintendo on the Switch. There's been rumors, some websites reported it, so I have a feeling they might actually announce that and maybe give us one, like, you know, or not even like, just give us a confirmation, like, you know, is Steep still coming? They showed it off, like, you know, last year, and basically before the Switch even launched yet, but nothing has come out of it ever since then. But aside from that, I'm not too sure. If Ubisoft will put out other games as well, maybe, just maybe Watch Dogs 2 or something like that, or like some of the older Assassin's Creed game they'll trying to port it over to the Switch. But as far as like their recent titles go, yeah, well, Steep is no longer recent, to be fair, like it's quite old, but if they could get South Park: The Fractured Butthole, like, you know, onto the Switch, I think that would be great, because the game isn't that old. It's literally just less than a year old at the moment. And if they add the Stick of Truth as well, which is what the PS4 and the Xbox One version got as well, they got a digital copy of Stick of Truth if you bought the actual game. So if they did that to the Switch as well, that would be great, because I haven't played it yet, and I definitely will pay money to, like, you know, try out on the Switch this time. And it's one of those games that I'll just much rather play it, like, you know, on a portable device rather than at home. So that's for Ubisoft. As far as, like, you know, any other specific games, like from Square Enix, hopefully we'll also see maybe get a release date for Project Octopath Traveler. Hopefully we'll also get to learn its final name. Like, I have a feeling it's probably just going to be called Octopath Traveler. That's just my guess, but I think that is actually a good name. It seems to fit well with the theme of the game as well. So hopefully we get to see that, and maybe, again, just maybe, hopefully we'll learn more about Dragon Quest. When does it come in? Give us a release date if they can. If there's any more other surprises, that would be great. But Square Enix, as far as I know, I'm just gonna keep it real with those. Maybe a few more things from Capcom. Again, it will most likely just be stuff that they've already announced. Maybe they will confirm to us whether or not if that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 leak was true. If it shows up tomorrow, then yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to tell it's true. But as far as other third party goes, I'm not really sure what to expect from some of these other companies, just purely because there hasn't been any sort of rumors going on around recently. Or should I say, there is a lot of rumors, but you don't know what to believe. So for the others, I'm not too sure. One thing that I think might come as a surprise tomorrow, or at least they will probably release it as a surprise, will probably be things because recently has been heavily rumored that Diablo 3 is actually going to be coming to the Switch. And if that's the case, yeah, I have a feeling they'll probably put it out as, like, you know, it's a shock reveal or something like that. Pretty much what they did with Dark Souls at the end of the mini direct, which just like, yeah, you have this giant question mark and, oh, here you go, Diablo 3. But I mean, it's not really a surprise, especially in the age of the internet. Things get leaked and rumored and that kind of stuff, so that can actually be helped. Now, as far as what Nintendo themselves will talk about, of course, like, you know, they already said they're going to talk about Mario Tennis, and like I mentioned Kirby as well, that they'll probably talk about Kirby. I think they'll probably also show Yoshi again, and once again, this time they will probably give us a release date. One title that I really hope that they should, or should I say they should show, but I'm not too sure what they do, is Fire Emblem. Now, we all know Fire Emblem is rumored, like, you know, the newest Fire Emblem was supposed to be coming out this year, so, but Nintendo has become relatively quiet on it. Like, there was no mention of it ever since they've announced the title, no talks about it whatsoever. They legitimately just like left it in the dark, and maybe now it's the perfect time to present it. Because at first I thought they might want to wait until E3 to reveal it, but I have a feeling E3, the three biggest titles that Nintendo is probably going to be presenting during E3 will be the first look for all three titles: Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, as well as the newest Pokemon game. I felt like those three games are going to be the biggest highlight at Nintendo's E3 booth. Of course, like, there's going to be other stuff as well, but I felt like those three, yeah, we're going to get the first look at all three of these titles, and I think these three are probably the biggest exclusive that right now Switch owners are really looking forward to. Metroid Prime, simply because it's been so long since we have, like, you know, another Prime game. Prime 3 was like almost 10 years ago now that I think about it. and Pokemon speaks for itself. The name itself is just like, you tell people newest Pokemon game coming to the Switch, it will just get people nuts. Like, you think it sells crazy in Japan right now, you haven't seen anything yet. As for Bayonetta, probably has the it probably doesn't have the biggest fan base out of, like, you know, these three out of the three titles. But one thing is that Bayonetta has become more and more relevant over the years, especially ever since Nintendo picked it up. It's just like now many people know her. She's been in Smash Brothers, and, like, you know, I just felt like Bayonetta's presence now in Nintendo is much bigger than she ever was when she was on 360 and PS3 when the first game came out. So, I mean, it's definitely the title that I'm most excited for. Don't get me wrong, I can't wait to play Pokemon. I'm dying to play Metro Prime 4. But Bayonetta has just, like, especially after playing Bayonetta 2 again recently on the Switch, it's just so great, and it just keeps reminding me why I love it so much, and I just have this very good feeling that Bayonetta 3 is probably going to blow my mind away. But anyway, like, that's a story for another day. So those three titles, I think, is going to be E3's primary titles that Nintendo's going to be focusing on. So if you want to, obviously, like, you know, give Fire Emblem a bit of attention, I felt like now with this Direct is probably the best time to do it. If it comes out, like, you know, just before E3 or comes out just slightly after E3, then I could potentially see that they will try to push it a little bit more at E3. But I think in terms of its first real, like, you know, reveal trailer should be done in tomorrow's Direct. And if they do that, maybe, like, you don't have to go heavily into gameplay, because, like I said, if it comes out after E3, then you could always have the treehouse where you literally delve in really deep into the mechanics of what it does and everything like that. But I think we'll probably get our first real look at it tomorrow. Now, in terms of anything else that I personally would want, obviously I would want, like, you know, some third-party games that we haven't actually heard about. Again, primarily from Capcom, from back when I talked about my Capcom third-party support titles. If they wish to release more ports, I don't have anything against that, because that's pretty much what all the company does these days. If they announce a few surprising ports, I'll be really shocked. Like, again, people have been pestering Rockstars for putting GTA 5 obviously on the Switch. If they do, that'll be great. Like, these are stuff that haven't been rumored yet, so who knows, anything could be possible. Hell, we might even hear more from Bethesda if they really were if they were happy with, like, you know, the third-party support for, I mean, not the third, if they were happy with the sales of Doom or even Skyrim whatsoever, and they would want to show off more support for it. Hey, I'm down if you could bring the Evil Within, or like Prey or Dishonored or anything like that. And speaking about Bethesda, I think tomorrow we're probably going to get our first official look as well on Wolfenstein. And I haven't bought the game yet. I'm actually somewhat excited to see how Panic Button have actually ported ported Wolfenstein 2 onto the Switch. And if it's anything like Doom, hell, I'll buy it. Like, I don't mind if it's not 60 FPS, as long as it, like, you know, runs like smooth enough, and like it doesn't hinder the gameplay in any way. Then I'll be like, you know, I'll buy it, definitely. And speaking about that, also that rumored Fortnite, like, you know, with Armature Studios, who knows, like, if they are indeed working on it, and that is actually true, and it is indeed for the Switch, tomorrow might also be a good time to announce that as well. But anyway, that's enough from me. I want to hear what you guys think. So what do you guys think about, like, you know, tomorrow's Direct? Like, are you hyped? Are you just kind of like, I'm not too sure? But I mean, it's always nothing wrong to be optimistic. Like I said, I don't have high expectations for it. I'm just basically gonna sit back and just try to enjoy, like, you know, what they show and everything. Like I said, if they surprise me or even just give me what I want, yeah, I'll be pleasantly surprised. And if that's the case, I'll be satisfied. I'll walk away feeling great. But yeah, so I'll just say, like, keep your expectations reasonable. Like, you know, I've already seen people having so unrealistically, like, you know, expectations, like, oh, they're gonna review virtual consoles tomorrow. It's like, I'm not too sure. I don't think they will do it yet. Again, if they do, that will be awesome. But it's just have reasonable expectations, guys. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, comment below and let me know what you guys think. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, consider subscribing and give it a like. If not, you can hit a dislike. But This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off. Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much.